So we're back again. We're gonna take a deep dive into some interesting content, and we're gonna have a conversation and a breakdown on the black community. The poison in the black community. What does that look like? Well, it is now our culture. Black culture has become very toxic. You went from the Cosby Show, the Family Matters, to Empire, to The Shy. You have music, talking about love and forgiveness, to the Meg the Stallion. If that, whatever, I got another one. The Tyler Perrying of the community, to where they take black plight, traumatic experiences, and they're put out there for entertainment purposes and not for informational purposes, which I can see both sides of that spectrum, but we must understand what this contributed to the destruction and the additional chaos that was already taking place. The NBA young boys, the Cardi B's. The one thing that black culture that has created, which was basically entertainment, from sports to music, movies, television, everything in the entertainment realm, black culture dominated and mastered. And it was stolen from us and sold to us, and we were used for the destruction. We were used as tools of destructions for our own people. Our entertainment is the very thing that ails us. The one thing that we created out of stress, out of desperation, to cope with slavery, to cope with the Jim Crow, to cope with, being treated unfairly, treated less than human in this country, has been weaponized and used against us. We are a people that is for sale. We have been given this currency. We've been given this miseducation of money, this miseducation of value, this miseducation of self. The black community has a lot of poisonous layers to it, and we don't understand how we invest in these very things. From the music, we're gonna play the Yo Gottis, the Megan the Stallions, the Cardi B's, the NBA Young Boys. We're gonna watch all of the movies, and we're gonna listen to trauma. We're gonna listen to, you know, the demeaning of the opposite gender. Here in America, black culture, if you call a woman a B, she's gonna be highly offensive. But her favorite rapper can say it 40 times in one song, and she's gonna keep that song on repeat. She's gonna call her friends bad B's, but you can't say it because you're not a woman. You don't get why we say it. You don't get why we say it. That's what she's gonna say. They love the men that disrespect women the most, the rappers. They love them. Who's buying and filling up the shows? Who do you see doing the TikTok viral Instagram reels and dances? Women. But in the next breath, they will cry about not getting any respect or being treated as a sex object when they're the ones in the video shaking their ass half naked, if not all the way naked. Tip drill. Black culture has become toxic. The things that we created to help us cope with not having any hope of tomorrow, working 6 days, sometimes 7 days, we had to come up with ways to cope. So we created entertainment. And that entertainment was valued and recognized, has been recognized globally, and it has been hijacked from us and stolen. And we have to get documentation to show that we own our own works. We spend hours in the studio, yet a white person or a person that does not look like me own my rights because they own the distribution channels. We don't have to say who that is because we should all know at this point. Who owns the radio channels? Who owns the news outlets? Who owns the record labels? Who owns the prisons? All of this stuff is working in unison. This is nothing. The prison complex, the rap music, all of this is working in tandem. This is why you can have an NBA young boy and rappers alike that can say they can kill their ops 1,000 times on an album. But you better not say one thing about a Jewish man or woman. You better not say anything about a Jewish man or woman. You better not say anything about a white man, woman, or child in your music. You can talk about killing your brother, though. You can do that all day. Yeah, yeah. We're gonna sell that. Yeah, give him a $30 million deal. Yeah, you're gonna get a $30 million deal to expand his reach of his message because it works for the system. This is why here in Alabama they have funds that should have been used for education reform and for, city and state roads. But no, we're going to build some new prisons. We're just going to build some prisons. No, we don't want a lottery. We want prisons. We want free labor. It's entrapment. This is what the black community has to go up against. Our own entertainment, our own power and talent being weaponized and used against us. It has become poisonous. The black culture, the black community has took a nosedive. And all of this has been in the works for the last, I would say, 20 to 30 years. Just cut your TV on. What do you see? What programming do you see versus what you saw in the late 80s, early 90s? Why don't you see any nuclear families? Why don't you see any strong masculine black men on your television? Why do you not see any strong masculine black men being interviewed without ridicule? He's toxic. We want to cancel Andrew Tate, who has a black father, but keep playing Meg Thee Stallion, Cardi B. Meg Thee Stallion can go viral shaking her ass, but they're not going to speak about how she almost got an innocent man killed, and they're trying to have her trial in silence because they know she lied. Why is that not in the headlines anymore in the trial? I believe the trial just began. Why is it not all over the media? Because they know Tory Lanez did not shoot this woman. But she can prance around, get interviews, get endorsements, right? Put an innocent man's life in danger because you're in your feelings. She gets more opportunity. But just a mere allegation against a black man, he's going to be canceled. All opportunities will be stripped away from him without a shred of evidence. And you wonder why passport bros is a thing. You wonder why MGTOW is a thing. You wonder why the Black Manosphere is a thing. This is why. Tyler Perry paints a vivid picture of real realities to where someone that went through some of these traumatic experiences was to see this, would it not cause a PTSD episode? Where are the programs that speak to the healing process for those who went through some of these experiences? All of the billionaires walking around, P. Diddy, Jay-Z, all of these, they work for the system. This is why you don't have any black institutions, schools that they could have easily developed with all of the net worth that they have. Jay-Z is a billionaire. P. Diddy is on the cusp of being a billionaire. Dr. Dre. So many more. Oprah. Why are there no black school structures and systems in place for the black community to fix themselves and correct themselves? Why does she have to go all the way to Africa to develop and build schools when you have black boys right here in America that need that way more, that need that help, that need that access? Because from what I noticed, a lot of boys can't even read past a third grade level. So why do you travel thousands of miles to Africa to build schools when we need those institutions right here in the black community? As black people, we see this fame and notoriety. That is also something that's used against us. It's used as a mask. You do not reach a certain level of financial success without being in bed with them. You do not. So you see the praise that Jay-Z gets and all of these guys are sellouts. So they do certain small things that are within certain parameters. They do small things. Just think about this. All of these black entertainers or whatever the case may be, why haven't they opted or invested in any type of sovereignty? Why haven't they purchased any islands to go create a new civilization or to create our own country? that's outside of the US. Why hasn't that taken place? Because if they were to try to do that, all of a sudden he owes 800 million in taxes. Oh, he's got a scandal, lock him up. Whenever you go against the grain in this, if you're entertaining, you look at Young Thug. He came out promoting the agenda. Now look where he is now. He was becoming more aware. He no longer wanted to do it. You look at, it's an artist named Rich Homie Quan. He was a straight shooter. They tried to turn him and he was not going, and they shelved him. All of a sudden, no more music, no more relationships. And he spoke about this in his interviews. That's because he did not want to go with that agenda. Young Thug calling him Boo and Bay and all of this. He wasn't going for that. So they shelved him and they silenced him. No more music, no more fame for you. You don't want to get on board, we're going to sit you down. You do not get to certain levels of success in mainstream America, media, in the entertainment realm, without getting in the bed. It does not happen. They're not going to let you get millions and millions of dollars of buying power that you can buy your own freedom, true freedom, and move away. They're not going to allow you to do that without any strings attached. It's not going to happen. But we're naive to understand this. So we buy into the media. We buy into what we see on social media. We live in a delusional world. We live in a delusional world. The poison in the black community, it is off the charts. And we are partaking in our own destruction. We're basically watching, when you see these buses of immigrants just come in, no explanation, billions of dollars going to the Ukraine. Think about that. You have these immigrants being bused to Chicago, New York. You're literally sitting back, going on vacation, taking your selfies, taking pictures of your Roscoe's chicken and waffles, and your replacements are being put right in front of your face. The replacement race for the black community are the Hispanics and some of the refugees from these countries that are at war, like the Ukraine and others. You see these Mexicans driving newer. Just pay attention to the Hispanic population and how they're living compared to what you may have noticed 10 years ago. They're driving the big new trucks. They're getting the haircuts. They are the replacement class of the black society. And you don't even know it. You want to go to Tulum and go on vacation and take your selfies, and you got the J's and all that type of stupid shit. And your replacements are right in your face, acting like you don't even exist, because you don't. All they know is where they fit in. But you keep, take your selfies, keep going on vacation every week, and we'll just see how that works out. There's nothing more interesting to see, which is a fool that think they're a genius. It is a phenomenon to watch. An arrogant, confident fool is very dangerous. I advise you to stay away. No matter how foolish they look, that they have a certain pride in their foolishness. Isn't that interesting? On TikTok videos, dancing like a fucking fool, thinking they look good and dudes are going to get in the DM. You look like a fool. But I digress. But you guys let me know what you think about this video. Like, comment, subscribe. It's the Day Master.